Hello everyone, it's me Jenny and welcome to another commentary. And I'm shooting in a different place to normal. Normally I shoot in the bedroom. Those of you who watch my Monday gaming might recognise a slightly larger version of my normal little webcam picture with the curtains behind me, because this is kind of my streaming setup right now. I'm about to hopefully, fingers crossed, a podcast with some of my online friends to talk about Game of Thrones, and while I was waiting for things to happen, I thought, I'm really behind on my videos, so I shall do a commentary for last week, which technically should have gone out on Sunday. It is now Wednesday evening. It is late at night. I got home from D&D about an hour ago, and yeah, I'm just catching up. So basically there might be an editing bit of this. We'll see how far I get before the podcast gets cracking. But if it doesn't start in the next 13 minutes anyway, I'm going to go to bed because I have work tomorrow and I've got to be a sensible human being. So after that incredibly non sequitur introduction, for people who don't watch this, basically I respond to all of your comments from last week. So that would have been technically 2 weeks ago now. It would have been Monday the 9th through to Monday the 15th of May. Monday to Sunday from last week, and I replied to all your comments typing wise, and then I talk about them to make it into a conversation, and usually they tend to go on for quite some time. I'm quite tired, it is quite late, and there weren't that many comments on that week, so even though usually they can go anywhere from 20 minutes to several hours, probably today is going to be a nice median. But yeah, that's the reason why I film on my web camera, so it's not as good audio quality, not as good visual quality, but it means I can ramble on for a while without it taking forever to upload. So yeah, sleepy commentary as if it was a different type. So on my Monday video, it was another day to play another day, starring our pet tortoise, Bert, who is still in the house at the moment. He's in the other room. He's adorable. There's something so alien about the way that he moves that just endlessly fascinates me. Like, I don't know whether or not I could get a tortoise as a pet because, sorry, my nose is really itchy. Oh, let's get that out of the way. I don't know whether or not I could have a tortoise as a pet of my own because, like, you can't really cuddle him, and I think part of the point of having a pet is to have that level of comfort. But at the same time, he's very, very low maintenance. He is endlessly fascinating to me. Like, literally just the way that he moves and the way that he investigates his environment, and the speed, like both the slowness and how fast he can get, it's endlessly fascinating. So yeah, it's wonderful pet sitting for him, because I don't think I could own one unless I had an additional something to cuddle, but he's just lovely. I really like him. He's really cute. Nathan Lau said that he thinks Bert cheated. It's very possible. And KSJ says he has an exceptional poker face, which is also true. He's got that little kind of like tortoise beak. It's very cute. It's very cute. I think I did a video when he was last here. It was a little video where I had him yawning. It was the cutest thing. Oh, I say the word yawn and I yawn. Oh gosh, there must be something psychological going on there. In the meantime, on to my Tuesday video, which was my review for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. My first time watching that. Woo! KSG says, gargoyles aren't magical. What have I been talking to? I couldn't tell you, I don't know. But clearly, maybe gargoyles are magical in your town. Maybe they are men in gargoyle suits. Maybe you're crazy. I can give you many options, but I can't tell you the truth unless you know of it. But there we go. Red Sky Blackbird says he liked the music. Some of the songs were really great, fitting both scene and theme. And he liked the villain, particularly moments like Hellfire, where you've got like a little bit of depth and complexity. Yeah, I definitely found like the moral outlook of the Hunchback of Notre Dame is very idealistic. But it was very good the way that like they said from the get-go that they justified the character choices in that he didn't see any villainy in anywhere except he saw villainy everywhere except himself. So that's a very terrifying, sad place to live life. So you understand where that character comes from, and it's his real, his sense of moral duty crushing his sense of his sense of peace and kindness. And particularly in Hellfire, he's a very fascinating character for a Disney movie. He definitely has a lot more character depth than your average villain. Libin, who has excitedly changed his username ever so slightly, says The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a movie that he watched and enjoyed when he was a kid, but it wasn't his favourite, which was Aladdin. I think I've only seen Aladdin once, maybe twice. It was one of the ones that I watched for the first time during that Disney session that we had pre-uni with my sister and my friend. It was good times. It was very good times. But again, it was one of the ones, because I didn't watch it as a kid, I didn't quite love it in that same way, but there we go. Nathan Lyle says he hated it as a child because it was really scary. I think that probably was the reason why I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child. It's got a lot of sexual content, like subtle enough that if you're a kid you don't really recognise it, but it's definitely got a sense of creepiness, a sense of moralistic doom. That had I watched it as a child, I would have been scared. And also, very, very depressingly, from an adult perspective. I think you grow to love Quasimodo, but I think it would have probably taken quite a lot of persuasion as a child to grow to like that character, because he is scary and like he has a heart of gold, but visually scary. And I think I was a very timid child in that capacity. I think I would have grown to love it, and it probably would have been, very good for me as a child. Like, I didn't really fear people in that way when I was a child, but I think the character design would have probably creeped me out slightly as well. I don't know. Definitely the aspects of God and creepy morality would have terrified me. But as an adult, Nathan Lyle believes that it's worth watching for the reasons that I mentioned in that review, so woohoo! On my Something Wednesday video, I talked to my pet cat, Jazz, who is one of the best things ever. And Baxton says, apparently we have the technology to translate what cats are saying now. I shall believe it when I see it, but I'm sure the thoughts of cats are a combination of exasperation and sarcasm. I don't think you'll get a civilized word out of a cat. But whatever they do say, it's probably incredibly witty and cuttingly vicious. And Malcolm says, yay, kitty! Indeed, kitty, pretty kitty cat. On my Naked Truth, which I forgot to send in. It's Wednesday right now, and I forgot to send it in. It's been, like, you guys have no idea how long this week has been, and it's been ridiculously long, hence why I'm filming at 1 o'clock at night on a Wednesday, and that's with, the prospect of me staying up for another couple more hours to do other things. It's been a very, very hectically busy week. There is a lot of things that I've been putting off this week. So yeah, there we go. I will send Trisha 3 videos this week. She's gonna. The thing is, I'm so good at. That's completely and utterly that's comparative at best. I'm pretty good at getting my videos up on time. I'm just terrible at sending the blooming emails once they're finally compressed and uploaded. It really shouldn't be that hard. It's just one of those things that it slips my brain. But yeah, another day, another video, another week, another Naked Truth I've got to send in. Red Sky Blackbird says he finds It's Not a Sexy Time thing to be rather cute. Well, you have to thank Trisha for that. That is her turn of phrase. And I just adopted it for the reactions to her videos. But thank you nonetheless. And why aren't I responding to him right now? He needs a level of instant response. Blah. I think that was on, yes, that video was on selfies, so that comment I assume is to do with instant reaction selfie culture. That being said, it's me. It takes me a while to get back to anyone. I think I share enough attention around, probably more than is healthy for some. But probably less than is healthy for others. I'm very bad at keeping up with things, but I do try and spread the love equally whenever I can. Baxorn on that same video says he can relate to not putting effort into an appearance before work, but he doesn't work in a public service job, so customer service is not a priority, and sometimes he doesn't realise that he's had a bad hair dye. I think I mentioned in that video there's been occasions when I've turned up to work with pillow marks still on my face because I've rolled out of bed so recently. So yeah, that's a thing that I do occasionally. I can't be asked. I've discovered wearing like plastic Alice bands over my hair is a great way to cover up the fact that I've a terrible hair day, because once my hair's in a bun and once I've got this thing going on here, like most of my hair is gone. So at that point, like, it's no matter how bad my hair is looking, it's kind of covered up. Wait. And because I'm wearing an Alice band, it looks like I actually put in effort. It looks like I made that extra step towards my appearance when really I'm just covering up my bad hair. On my commentary for last week, catching up, that's ironic. KSJ says he likes peanut butter and jelly. He also likes snacks they sell in the store vending machine that have peanut butter between the crackers, like Oreo. If I know what that is. Only it's not Oreo, I'm assuming. And we now have confirmation Jenny wasn't raised with a silver spoon. Apparently it was the last one. And onion person, woo! That was a weird word of the day. Onion soup. French onion soup is actually from France, as far as I'm aware. I think it was originally designed in France because France are renowned for having sweet onions. Obviously, wine is something that you get in, like a French onion soup is a combination of white wine and caramelized onions, and sometimes you get a little bit of cheese in it, which is all very traditional ingredients found in France. So I'm pretty sure French onion soup is French. French fries are not. I don't even know where that term comes from. I suppose maybe it was some variation on sauteed potatoes. But there we go. I don't know anything about that. And yes, I do have there is a brass spoon in that room. I think it was one of those things that when the decorating was happening in that room, there was kind of an argument for, let's try and keep it as minimal as possible. We'll have, pale blue walls, and then we'll have white furnishings. So then that happened, and they were like, oh well, I kind of want to have black sofas. Okay, so it's going to be blue, white, and black. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to have cream like rugs. Okay, so it's going to be blue, white, black, and cream. Okay, and then I want to have patterned curtains with matching pillowcases. Okay, so now we're going to have blue, white, black, cream, and pattern. And then we're like, well, we have a load of brass stuff. We have like a brass coal bucket, and a brass spoon, and a brass toasting fork. So we're like, okay, it's gonna be multiple colours. Screw it. It's when you have a lot of odd family heirlooms, you can never actually end up with a streamlined, minimalistic design. It just doesn't happen. But there we go. Moving on. But thank you for being an onion person. Woohoo! Nathan Lyle says, sometimes it's good to curse because swearing is fun. That's a quote from me from that video. I assume I very rarely rewatch my commentaries. I just don't have time. But I assume I said that at some point last week. And so he's got a very long comment here. Bloomin' heck, it's a long tangenty comment, and he talks about, he's kind of a bit of anyone who's read Jane Austen's Emma, he won trophies, but they hold no value because he never put in effort, because he naturally was high achieving, which is a good thing to be, but there you go. And he's surprised I don't like peanut butter and jelly. It was all he ate as a kid. He didn't like peanut butter much though, which is odd, but I suppose it's the amalgamation of flavours that make it all a thing. He didn't make his own sandwiches, and a sandwich with just jam makes no sense. Yeah, I can understand that. Jam sandwiches were a thing I had as a child, but as an adult it's like you have jam on something, not in something. and he still hates most vegetables, including thank you for being an onion person and a bunch of other things. And tangents, 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 and tangents, tangents, tangents. And I hate it when he hears British people talk about biscuits and cookies. He gets so confused. You're telling me, my gosh, I'm so confused by what Americans think biscuits are. I have no concept of what American biscuits are. They look like savoury scones. It's confusing. So many tangents. Oh my gosh. I talked about Journey / Kansas / Carried On My Wayward Son stuff. And he's seen every episode of Castle since the beginning. Woo! And yes, the end was a little bit convoluted, to say the least. There's definitely been better ends to series, both ones that were, the cast and the crew knew that it was the last season, and ones which were rushed to the finish line. That was very much the interesting thing about Castle is they had the time travel episode, which was one of those ambiguous ones where was it mystical or was it real life? Who knows? So given that, I think that was like 2 seasons before they got cancelled. They kind of seemed to be already heading in that direction. Like it seemed to be more along the lines of it was actually mystical, which was really fun. It was a really, really fun episode, that one, actually. So it was very interesting that basically they were like, we want to have all of the cakes and we want to eat all of the cakes. So I want to have the, yet again, who will survive, who's getting abducted, who, their love will carry on forever, build up, build up, build up. Followed by tragically they die together, followed by actually they both survived and they have lots of kids. Which, by that point, Castle's going to be an old dad. No offense, old dads are great, but it was just one of those things where I'm like, blimey, they had 7 kids. When his eldest daughter is already old enough to be a mum in her own right. It's just one of those things where it's like, blimey, that's a lot of children. Poor Kate. It definitely felt like a rush to the finish line, which it's fine. I just felt like almost the ending of that could have gone they both got shot. Spoiler alert. They both got shot, and then it cuts to a flash forward where they have it's all happy in slow motion, lots of kids. I feel like that could have gone multiple ways, where it could flash forward a year and it has Castle signing off on his last Nicky Heat book because Kate died, or that sort of thing. But it all got cancelled, so they just went for the final ending. It just felt like having their cake and eating it. And by the time I'd got through all of those seasons, I was like, oh no, not another episode where they don't quite connect and one of them gets kidnapped again. But it was still good. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a enjoyable watch overall. Baxon says he hears The Onion can be pretty fun parody of the news. I've heard that as well. I haven't actually read any Onion articles, but I hear a lot about it, especially when you hear people misinterpreting the lies of The Onion for truth. Okay. Moving on. He's also jet lagged, so that sucks. And he also told me to encourage me to continue with the movie clubs and anime clubs and the ones that I watch, particularly the horror films, because broadening my horizons are good, even if they're in a small amount. Okay. It looks like podcasting is about to happen, so I will try and sum up the last couple of videos before the setup is done, because I want to do podcast and sleep. Let's see. On my Saturday video, my D&D, my IRL Critters video, Nathan Lyle says Jenny has her beeps, and has done a Crabtree song, which it's very well written. It's very entertaining. I won't sing it because that would be bad for everyone involved, but good creative work. Thumbs up all the way. Minds work in mysterious ways, they do indeed. Nathan Lyle says he doesn't mind swearing, in fact he prefers it. In fact, I prefer it. The improper grammar upsets me more, rather than so fucking much fun would have preferred you said. I'm assuming you're being ironic, because there is no capitalization or anything like that, and that's frustrating. I really hope you're being ironic with your claim for grammar versus exclamatives, because blimey O'Reilly. Baxthorn says, yay, I found a group of people that I'm comfortable with, I have a need. And it's great when social gathering, it's a shame that it gets flack today. Yeah, there's a shame that D&D culture and gaming culture gets so much flack, but I think, you know, the internet is changing its perspective on those sort of things, but it's still something that kind of needs to be thought through a little bit. Yeah. The concept of fantasy, D&D versus fantasy football, you know, things that are traditionally like more sports-based and stuff, getting a lot of like, woo, that's normal, and D&D getting a lot of, oh, that's weird. I think times are changing, but I think it's a slow process. 123 Curiosity 321 said, when you said League of the Stick, do you mean Order of the Stick? Yes, I did mean Order of the Stick. If anyone is wondering, that was a misspoken thing, and I was going to put a link to it in the description, and I never did. So my bad. It is Order of the Stick, which is a great D&D webcomic, very well worth reading. Please do check it out. And my Sunday sum up, sleep. What a good idea. I want to sleep. Kiss just says, Demon Dogs, now you have my attention. I will, if I remember which, oh god, no promises tonight. If I remember, I will put a link in the description for this video, if I can find it, to that particular Eurovision entry, because weird. Also, epilepsy warning. Huge epilepsy warnings. And finally, Baxon said, I actually say tomato. I think I was thinking of what to say next. I tend to slow down my words slightly when I'm really focusing on what I was trying to say next, so I think I did say tomato. But there we go. And he's 2 episodes behind on Game of Thrones. You need to catch up. Yes, you do. It is very good. And Jenny Sass is best sass. I will take your word for it. I don't really have much to compare it to, but woo. So, because I want to do a podcast and then sleep, today's word of the day is bread, because for some reason I have a box that says bread. So, secret word of the day, bread. Feel free to put that in the comments, and that way those of you who are crazy enough to watch the end of these videos, I can see who you are. You can put it as subtly as you like, you can put it as blatantly as you like. It is up to you. Thank you for watching, feel free to comment, and I'll see you guys all next week once I've caught up. My gosh, I've got so much to catch up on. It's been such a crazy week. I'm sorry I'm not particularly high energy, I'm so tired. Thank you for watching, feel free to comment. I'll see you guys all very soon. Bye.